Hello everyone, I'm Niiniifc and this is Blue Line TV and welcome to another Q&A live stream. I hope all of you guys are doing good. How is everyone? I think everyone is slowly going to start coming soon. 5 people in here. To be honest, I don't blame anyone. I'm late again. But yeah, if anyone can hear me, Josh Banks, how you doing, man? You good? Hey man, I'm going to get the Patreon up. If you're a Patreon sub, then if you message me through Patreon, I'll answer your questions through there. So yeah, don't forget that. If you've subbed to my Patreon, then message me on Patreon and then I'll answer your questions. Yes, everyone's here. How's everyone doing? Christian, what's good, man? SP Danker, 420, yeah, 420 today. You know what time it is. Harry Lee, what's up, man? You good? Alexandra Ramsey. Oh, Cray. Hey, Cray, how you doing? How's Israel? Hope you're doing good. Tala, hey, thanks for that, man. Thanks for that. But yeah, you guys, you know what the deal is. Today it is the Q&A live stream, so I will be answering your questions. Of course, if you want your questions prioritized and you wanna, you want me to spend more time on it, you know what to do. Send a super chat in. I'm only gonna be doing an hour for today. I know it's kind of peak, but yeah, obviously, I've got some plans for later tonight, if you know what I mean. So some of my friends are coming around later. So yeah, I only have an hour with you guys for tonight. Jordan, what's up, man? You good? Still angry with Morata. Hey, where did I see my guy? Where is he? Where is he? Yes, Imad, what's good, bro? You good? Christian, yeah. Avicii, yeah. Rest in peace, Avicii, and rest in peace, Roy Bentley. It's been some eventful day today. It's been some eventful 420. You know what I mean? Flipping hell. Yeah, exactly. So much shit's been happening today. Yeah, but you guys know what the deal is. Q&A live stream. You want your questions answered, now's your chance. You've got an hour with me for tonight, and then after that I'm keeping it moving. But yeah, rest in peace to everyone that passed away. But yeah, Tala, I feel like Niiniifc will appear in Match of the Day for the post-match analysis in a few years. God willing, let's see what happens. Gray, I love you, Johnny, I love you too. Any 100% Chelsea collabs? Yeah, I'll probably do something with Lawrence. I mean, my time, it's been hard to schedule my time. I've been so busy recently with, and of course, in like a week and a half, I'm going to be on holiday for 2 weeks. So I'm hoping that I'm going to have a laptop in time so I can still do videos and streams when I'm in, in Malaysia. Okay, Nini, do you think Pedro should play in midfield from now on? Nope, I don't think he should. I mean, here's the thing. He did 2 nice pieces of skill. And during the live stream, I applauded him. I gave him praise. You know, I'm not a hater or nothing like that. But then still, he didn't do much. You know what I mean? And I keep saying, like, Pedro's like the definition of busy work. Yeah, he looks like he's, he's working hard. But I'm not seeing the brains behind a lot of the stuff, you know? Baghdad 187, what's up, man? You good? Glad that you joined. Out of Emerson's performance, what out of 10 for Emerson's performance? You know what, for Emerson, I'm literally going to give him a 6 out of 10. Now, that's not saying he's bad. Not at all. It was just a professional performance. He didn't really get to show what he could do as much, but he did all the basics right. And yeah, it was just brief glimpses. Maybe 6.5 out of 10 I'd give him. I got the first super chat today. Are you Parid? If under-19s win the UEFA Youth Champions League, will they finally be promoted? Well, it wouldn't be the first time. I mean, we're on course to win it for the 3rd time, which is crazy. And to think, we're the only club where our youth teams can win a Youth Champions League. They can win an FA Cup. They can win multiple trophies in a year, and then they still don't get the looking. That makes no sense to me. Remember that I think the last team to win the FA Youth Cup was that Man United with Pogba and Lingard. Those guys won one thing at youth level, and then how many of them are promoted? You know, Michael Keane's a Premier League player, Pogba and Lingard are playing together. I think there's a few other United guys that are doing well as well, and it's just like they won one, FA Youth Cup. Our guys constantly keep winning trophies, European ones at this level as well. And honestly, it's baffling. It makes no sense. And next season, they have to start finding a way to utilise them. There's no excuse, in my opinion. There's not even an excuse about them not being good enough anymore. Because, I mean, for years, so many of them have been good enough. It's time we get the right coach to come in next season and try to implement these guys in the team, you know? Okay, let me get the thing up. Answer a few more questions. As I said, you guys, I'm going to be on here for an hour today. Harry Doherty, what's up, man? Pedro is dead now. He ain't going to be here next season. Imad, what's good, bro? Emerson has good performances than no lips Alonso. Yeah. Honestly, if I'm Alonso, I'm getting a bit worried. You know, all Emerson needs to do is do bits on Sunday against Southampton, and potentially he could end the season playing, and then his chances for next year are going to go up even more. Alexander, how would you improve our team with signings, managers, etc., etc.? That's obviously a very loaded question. Again, obviously the right manager has to complement the philosophy that we want to introduce. I think it's going to be I mean, the club have said too, I've done videos, it's most likely going to be like a 4-3-3 for next season. That's the type of formation the club would like to see happening again. So that really boosts the amount of types of players we can go in for. You guys know Riyad Mahrez, I'm Riyad Mahrez all day. I mean, even though I like Bailey, I'd have Mahrez over Bailey. For someone that good, imagine Hazard and Mahrez together. Good lords. I mean, can you imagine that? And then, yeah, I mean, I'd like to see that. And Ruben needs to be in our midfield for next season. No excuse. The amount of opportunities we've given to guys like Baka and Drinkwater and Barkley, etc., etc. And it's just like some of the performances they put in this season that just haven't really been doing much, in my personal opinion. Yeah, Bakayoko was solid yesterday. But being solid isn't good enough. You know, you need to start making the most of the game and start asserting yourself in these games. You know, I'm sick and tired of just seeing that the bare minimum being done. I don't think that's anything to be excited about, in my personal opinion. If someone like a Chaloba, for example, put in the same types of performances that Bak has done this year, no one would be happy with him. Everyone would be saying, sell him, get rid of him. You know what I mean? And yeah, for me, Mahrez, reintroduce Ruben back into midfield. You know, you guys know my dream guy. If Isco or Thiago are available, we've got to get one of them for that midfield. I think Seri would be good, and I mean, I think that's it. I mean, next season, one thing I'm excited to see, especially with an attacking manager coming in, Emerson and Moses, giving these guys much more of an attacking role. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Answer a few more questions. As I said, you guys, if anyone is a Patreon subscriber and you're on the live stream now, if you send me messages through Patreon, then I'll be able to get back to your question then. That's the best way. Okay. What are they? Let me scroll back up. I missed out a few questions. Femi, for real, those dudes are ballers. Yep. Sanchez is a poor man's Hazard. A 6 for Emerson is 10 for Alonso. Yep. You got a point. Koken Boken, what do you think about Wenger leaving Arsenal? And obviously I'm surprised that it was announced today, but I wasn't surprised that he'd be leaving at the end of the season. I mean, the reports were coming out of managers being linked with Arsenal, and Wenger's been in charge for how long? You haven't heard any reports of managers being linked with Arsenal whatsoever. So already that was telling me straight away that there's probably something happening behind the scenes. And yeah, obviously Wenger announced it. It should give the club more time to, you know, find a target they want. I mean, to be honest, I'm going to sound very harsh, but I think Wenger's left, you know, 10 years too late, in my personal opinion. He hasn't really done much throughout this last 10 years to really justify why he should have been there for so long. I mean, it's no surprise to me personally why they haven't been competing. I mean, a lot of times it's just been the game management tactical decisions by Wenger. I mean, that's it. There's been no improvement. Arsenal haven't, the past 10 years, they haven't reached a different level at all. They've been at the same level, and now they've regressed. And, I mean, whatever new manager takes charge of Arsenal next season, I mean, you've got players to work with. I mean, Lacazette and Aubameyang, for me, you only need one of those guys. I don't understand why they bought two, top class strikers like that. You have to use a formation that's going to use both of them, in my opinion, to get the best out of them. It's just such a typical Premier League thing to do. They never think about these things properly in terms of squad management and for the formation. But you're a new manager coming in, you've got some players to work with. Plus, you're probably going to get some money as well. And, being in London, a lot of people love coming to London to live. It is one of the best places in the UK to stay in. I mean, there'll definitely be a threat for next season. And if you're an Arsenal fan, I'd be excited for the future. You can maybe start having aspirations and start thinking about, competing again. And it's crazy because now that's extra competition that we have. And now, if you told me that we're guaranteed to get top 4 for next year, I wouldn't say anything. And for me, this is why it is a bit of a blessing that we will be getting Europa League football, because as long as you win the Europa League, you qualify for the Champions League. And I think for next season, because it's going to be a transition year, I think that's what we should be aspiring for, to win the obviously the Europa League. And then when we challenge for the Champions League again, hopefully we run things better than this year, and you know what I mean. Okay, other questions. Okay, Zilla Jammer, Nini, thoughts on Laven Kazara links? Yeah, you know what? I'm probably going to do a video over the weekend, a transfer daily video, just discussing some of the other reports like Drinkwater to West Ham and Bakayoko to Monaco and Kazara. You guys, if you remember, in January, I think I'm not even trying to gas myself up or nothing, but I was one of the first ones to start talking about our links to Kazara before later on during January that came out, and now they're intensifying again because, we have looked into him. Now, to me, for this story, I personally feel it's his agent trying to obviously find a new client for, a new team for his client, because Paris Saint-Germain will be selling him in the summer regardless. He's going to be going, he'll be leaving. Obviously, he wants to go to the Premier League, get the most money. It's a good competition. To me, I think it's his agent just trying to, hopefully find his client a new club. Mark, hey man, you good? Dammy, hey Nini, what players would you integrate from our loan army into the first team next season? Zuma, Ruben, 2 players that need to come straight back. I'd like to see us bring in Jada Silva and Mason Mount as well, to be honest. They're the 4 guys I'd like to see come back. I'm not going to count Mitchie in the loan army. I think I have to. Mitchie as well. They're the 5 players that do need to come back. Safe flight to Malaysia. Yeah, thanks for that, man. I'm looking forward to going. I love the food, everything. Malaysia. Kuala Lumpur is such a sick city. Like, it's so cheap when you go there. Imagine an Uber ride into the city that's like 15-20 minutes. Only costs you like £1. An hour's flight for an hour's journey from the penthouse apartment. Actually, when I wouldn't say penthouse, but it's definitely like those apartment complexes. Proper nice too. It's got like 2 floors, views overlooking the whole city and shit. I'm hoping I can do some videos when I'm there so you guys can see my views on that. But I'm excited. The food too. It's gonna be a shutdown. But yeah, let me see. Misha, hey man, thoughts on Aspie in a 4-3-3? Now here's the thing with Azpilicueta. I honestly don't know what's going to happen with him for next year if we move to a back 4. I mean, I'm going to sound kind of harsh, but in a way he's been fortunate in the sense that he's been playing very niche roles in systems. As recently Mourinho using him on the left and then playing on the right of back 3. Honestly, would I have Aspie over Moses, especially if we're playing much more attacking football, where Moses should be getting better support? I probably wouldn't do that because Aspie can't do that, because if he could, I think he'd still be playing there, to be honest. Would I play him in the middle of a back 2? No, I probably wouldn't play him in the middle of a back 2. I mean, I don't know, but I really think for next season, because we've got so many good players, in my opinion, hopefully, but I mean, it never really works like this. Just performing in training guarantees your place in the team for next week. It never really works like that in football. With Aspie, honestly, who knows? Maybe he might find another niche role to play in the team. Is top 4 possible? Nope, it's not possible at all. Abdel, I heard Man City stepping up the pursuit for Mahrez. Hope not. Nini time. Hey, no Nini time today. Not today, mate. Ayub, Nini, do you think Chelsea should go for Malcolm? Nah. Well, Malcolm to me is kind of similar to Bailey. I mean, even though they've got some very impressive individual traits, they're not the finished article just yet. Yeah, they've been showing a lot of standout individual moments of brilliance and skill, but yeah, they're not that complete just yet. So I definitely think a degree of patience needs to be had there. I mean, Malcolm's long shots are ridiculous, but I mean, that would be, I mean, you know, it's very similar to Bailey. You know, they're very direct players that like to affect the goal. You know, we haven't really had one of those players for a while. Okay. Yeah, you guys, I'm going to be on for 45 more minutes and I'm going to be off. Yes, and I've got some questions. Christian. Yep, I'm answering the Patreon questions now. Christian, and your question is, chances of our youth team beating Barcelona on Monday? Well, they've beat them before, and the last time we beat Barcelona, that was the first ever time I saw Jeremy Boga. Now, this guy was 15 years old, the youngest player on the pitch by, I think, probably 2 years or 3 years or something like that. He was playing at number 10, which is his best position, because this guy is like a playmaker too, which a lot of people forget. And, you know, this guy, you know, this was a Barca team that had like a Dalmajore and I think Sergi Samper, and I think one or two other guys as well. And I mean, when I mean this guy ran the show. This was a team that had guys like Baker and Ruben and a lot of other guys he was playing with. Literally by far, he wasn't even the best player. He was like another level to everyone else on the pitch. It was just too easy for him. Everything he was doing, of course, he got the winner as well. He made the assist as well, and this is what really pains me with Jeremy Boga, because this guy is a number 10. He's not a winger. Yeah, his dribbling skills are so amazing that he can beat multiple people. But just because he can do that doesn't mean he should be forcing the wings. This guy's got a goal threat. He's good at set pieces. He plays in so many nice passes. I remember the Champions League youth final, I think the first one we won. I think he set up 2 assists in that game. He set up the 3rd goal. Nice piece of skill and like a nice little like dink chip into the box for Solanke to get his head on. I mean, this guy was a baller, and honestly, there were big plans for him. But then when you've got guys like Mourinho and Conte, you can you can say goodbye to all of that. I'm hoping he's gonna have a fair chance again in pre-season, and I'm hoping he's gonna be in the squad. For me, I think I've always thought he's better than Masunda. I think he is one of our. To be honest, he's the best youth player that I've seen from the academy. You know, I think probably up there with I'd probably say Hudson-Odoi is playing on a similar level to how I was seeing Boga for the youth team. So, but yeah, I'm just going on some next ramble, I know. But yeah, I mean, we've beat Barca before. Of course, we've got a chance against Barcelona. To be honest, I don't really know who's in their academy. Maybe that could be something interesting. Maybe I might do a video during that game, or a live stream during that game as well. I mean, it's a pretty big game. So yeah, I think we're going to beat Barcelona. And Josh Banks, your question is, do you think we have a chance of getting Isco or Thiago for next season? I'd like to think we do. I'm thinking with Isco, well, it depends if Real Madrid are going to get a new manager. I think if Zidane could, I don't know. I'm even thinking if Zidane won the league again, would he want to stay at Real Madrid? I mean, if he won the Champions League again, I'm thinking he probably wants a new challenge if we did that. I think this is the thing. I think in regards to Isco, it's going to come down to if Real Madrid do get a new manager, and if that new manager has any plans for Isco. If Zidane does stay, I can imagine Isco being frustrated and wanting to leave. I mean, people keep talking about Man City. When you've got Silva, De Bruyne, and the other Silva, I can't really see why they'd need an Isco or a Thiago, to be honest. And Thiago, I mean, you know, reports are fluctuating. Again, reports that he could be leaving in the summer. But then there's talks that Vidal could be the guy that moves. So, again, it just really depends. I'd like to think we do. We're not going to know anything, really. I mean, we'll have an idea of some of the players we're looking at. But in terms of final targets, until the new manager comes in, or a new director of football, honestly, who knows what's going to happen? We get back to answering some questions. Like I said, if you're a Patreon subscriber and you're watching the stream, you can message me through Patreon. And yeah, okay, what other questions are there? Again, if you want your question prioritized, you know what to do. Send in a super chat. Proud Aroma Entertainment. Is EPL too physical for Morata? I wouldn't say so. It's just getting used to. I mean, La Liga, I'm playing for Real Madrid too. We saw that game against Juventus, but I felt Juventus were robbed. How many times are all of their players just going down? You know, what's usually given a foul in La Liga is completely different to what's given a foul in the Premier League. And this is what I mean. A lot of times it's just about understanding what you can do and what you can get away with. And another thing too, Morata's never played as a target man like that. Yeah, he's playing as a target man. He's never done that in his entire career. And it's like when you've never played a role like that, naturally there are going to be a lot of growing pains. And here's the thing, there's one important thing as well with Morata, which none of us can forget. Morata isn't a striker that is going to be super clinical and will just score like, you know, his first effort on goal. Morata needs at least, you know, 4 to 5 chances a game to probably get a goal. Torres was exactly the same back in the day. You know, he's not Diego Costa, but this was the world-class thing about Costa. This guy, 1 or 2 chances, we barely used to create any chances for him to. And to think he was still getting 20 goals a year, just pure ability. But I mean, here's the thing. I think Morata, I don't understand why people aren't too sympathetic towards him. I mean, he's got a lot more against him than Bakayoko, in my personal opinion. Like I said, he never played as a target man. He's playing for that in a league where it's very physical and the referees don't really protect the players as much. And then, obviously, you know, personal issues in terms of one of his close friends passing away, a back injury which kept him out for a while and affected his performances, and then, obviously, you know, just moving to a new country with his wife and kid and settling. I mean, here's the thing: the club. I'd only imagine Morata leaving if he wanted to go, or if the club got a massive offer, or both. But I mean, the club know that they're going to be judging Morata for next season, so it's just patience, you guys. But again, I think people need to be more sympathetic towards Morata. Okay, what other questions? Adil Hassan, how have we spent 75 million on a striker who isn't clinical? I mean, to be honest, I mean, the minute we heard that we were going to be signing Morata, I mean, I was saying this in videos. I'm hoping when it comes to this summer, when I'm discussing players and giving my thoughts and opinions, I'm hoping that this summer people will listen to what I say more than last summer. You know what I mean? Because in regards to judging all the players, I mean, I did one of the transfer breakdowns, and you know, giving all of our transfers, giving all the players we bought a grade from, you know, like E to A, and I think I gave really accurate grades, and every player's performance. Every new signing's performance this season, I kind of expected it to be like that, so I really haven't been surprised. Not one of the new signings has really surprised me at all, or done anything different that I wasn't expecting, so that's what I'm saying. Alexander, would you start at centre-back with 4 at the back? Who would I start? I mean, this is the hard thing. Emerson and Moses left and right. Defense is hard. I think Luis still got a part to play, but sometimes I think of I wouldn't have Rudiger. To me, Rudiger isn't a first choice defender. He's one of the guys, but obviously there'll be a lot of rotation. He'll still get a lot of game time, but I don't think he's. I mean, he's good, but he's not like elite defensively, if you know what I mean. You guys know what I'm constantly criticizing Rudiger about. Something's telling me though. Maybe this could be a good, you know, especially if it's a transition year next season where it's not really going to matter as much. Something's telling me partnering Christensen and Zuma from the start next season could be more beneficial for our long-term future, you know. Letting these guys play together, build up the relationship, which is important, so they can understand each other's game. I think for the future, it's much more beneficial to do that because I honestly feel these two will be one of the best defensive duos in the world. This is what I mean, Chelsea, we got all these ingredients, but we just keep making shit from some high quality ingredients we got. You know, it's time to, I just think long term, I'd probably go for Zuma and Christensen, in my opinion. I mean, because Luis and Rudiger, they'll still get game time. Luis and Zuma should start, again, but I don't know, I feel that, I'm just, again, it's going to be a transition year, we're not expected to do much. If it's going to be a year we sacrifice, prepare for the future. Let Zuma Christensen be the first choice so they understand each other's game. You know, this is what I mean, you guys. I mean, with football, you still have to think about the next year, the next 2 years, the next 3 years. Let's say in the next 2-3 years, we're one of the best teams. You know, we're one of the favourites to win the league again. We're all going to forget about these Conte times. We're all going to forget about that. And sometimes that's much more beneficial to, you know, to build something positive for the future that's going to boost your chances instead of doing this, you know, the normal shit we normally do. Okay, other questions. Jaden Colon, what's up, man? Your question is, hey Nini, any secret news you got coming? I've got a video on Courtois, which again, it's just finding the time. You know, I'm gonna try and get it out as soon as possible. And another video I do want to do is just talking about the managerial situations. I mean, there's no new news surrounding managers, but I think some people have, you know, they tweet me stuff. I mean, to be honest, you guys, you know, I already know this stuff already because, you know, obviously with a channel like this, I'm constantly searching everywhere. I'm asking around. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. So nothing really is new to me. But yeah, people were talking about how I think Matt Law and the Telegraph were talking about how Chelsea wouldn't necessarily go for the same type of, you know, big name manager. But you know, I've already spoken about that on the channel before that came out. I think I even spoke about that with Joe Tweedy as well. So I mean, that's a point we've been touching on a lot, that Chelsea would be looking into, you know, I keep stressing, you know, philosophy next season, new direction. You know, Chelsea want to look for managers that can play football, so they're going to be looking outside the box. How many times have I made that point about, you know, don't be surprised to see us linked with a Nagelsmann or what's the guy's name? The guy who was at Watford, the freaking Portuguese guy at Watford who left. I think I remember speaking about that on streams as well. So that's what I mean. You know, everything's there in my videos. Forward thinking, Nini, what is the best way for our defence to work on build up play from the back? We seem nervous and never 2 steps ahead in our passing from the keeper. I mean, to be honest, it's Barca in the training ground. Obviously, that's how Conte likes the team to play. Of course, it's not effective enough. I think it's much better when you've got, let's say, a Kante dropping deeper to be a passing outlet, and then it's just about creating the triangles, really. You know, the midfielders need to circulate with their positions, and you know, this is why it's good to have guys who are comfortable in possession and are good on the ball, because then you can, you know, you can play the ball better. In my opinion, I think Cesc and Kante are the only ones. I think Ruben can. When I look at guys like Barkley and Bakayoko, I don't really think they're very good in possession like that. Drinkwater, maybe Drinkwater could be back up to Kante. I mean, you know, again, yeah, Marco Silva, that was the guy. But yeah. What other questions? Okay. Answering another Patreon. Yeah, again, if you're a Patreon subscriber, or if you want to become one, literally $5 a month, you get access to a lot of perks. And again, like I keep saying, I'm going to be pushing that more. I think it's cheaper for everyone. You get more bang for your buck. You actually get something as well, and it's better that way. Josh Banks from Patreon, your question is, thoughts on Lewandowski links? Again, I think this is agent trying to test the waters to see what type of clubs are available for his client. You know, there's reports that Lewandowski could be leaving, wants a new challenge. I mean, you know, dominating in Germany after a while, I can kind of understand why your motivation wouldn't be as high. You know, it's kind of boring doing the same thing. I think we've heard stuff of Alaba even, you know, looking around to see what's even available for him, you know. But Lewandowski, who knows? I mean, we could afford to bring him in. We can put him on those types of wages. But it just comes down to the manager. And I don't know. I think if you brought in a Lewandowski, that means either Mitchell or Morata are leaving. So that's the realities from that. But again, if I had to give my hunch, you know, like my gut feeling, I don't think there's much to the Lewandowski reports apart from the fact that his agent wants to see who's available. But again, I wouldn't be surprised to see him at Real Madrid and replacing Benzema, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, you guys, I'm going to be on for 30 more minutes. I'm going to be off. Davan Blue, Nini, I don't think we should be judging Barkley this season. I mean, when I'm judging Barkley, I'm judging him because I've seen this guy play a lot before. When I was going through the summer, when I was going through all these players, I think Zappa Costa was the only guy I didn't really... I mean, I've heard of him, but I didn't know much of him until I did research. And that's when I wasn't really too impressed, if I'm being honest. The other guys I've seen already... And this is why I really wasn't too excited about what we did, you know. Yeah, I mean, with Barkley, again, we got to stop this thing for next season where any guy that's linked with us, people get excited. Yeah, I know it's a new shiny thing, but like, manage your expectations, you know what I mean? I don't understand why anyone was excited for Barkley. I kind of had a feeling his season was going to pan out like this. I mean, he was going to get in the first team as if... I just don't know really what he would do if he lets me bring in other managers, and this is what annoyed me the most. You know, this guy he'll never reach another level. He's going to be at the same level. He could potentially block the paths for guys like Mason Mount and Ruben, who I think will be much better than he'll ever be. I wouldn't be surprised to see him sold maybe in January or something like that. I mean, that's the only reason why we bought him. We didn't buy him because of his ability. Christian, yeah. Johnny Speed, if Morris comes, what happens to Willian? Well, Willian, again, you guys, this is what I keep saying. Next season, it's really hard to... You know, it's really hard to just give, like... You know, like... Explain exactly everything that's going to happen, because there's so many factors in place that everything needs to fall in line fast before this can happen, before that can happen. And what do I mean by that? Well, we've got to see who the manager is going to be, director of football, what the actual direction is going to be, and then we need to see maybe what players will be leaving and who's going to be staying. Once the manager assesses them, we know United's Mourinho likes Willian. Hey, I'm saying we haven't offered him a new contract. If he was going to get one, I think we should have had one already by now. I mean, because here's the thing: if we're offering guys like Courtois and Hazard, we've been trying to offer these guys new contracts since like before January. Now, if we were serious about Willian, then he would have been offered something with him. That's how I see it. That hasn't happened. I wouldn't be surprised to see him sold for big money, if I'm being honest. If United's coming with that Müller, I think it makes sense to take it. I mean, even though he's a good player, I'm not even saying sell him because he's shit, of course not. Sometimes you've got to think in terms of the business side. You know, he's a player that's not going to get any better. He'll cost how much? If you can do some business on top where you're trying to bring in Martial. I mean, I'm hearing reports of Rashford. Oh, God forbid we sign Rashford. Honestly, I feel he's a bit overrated. I don't think he's going to be a world-class player. I don't understand. Honestly, maybe I'm too much of like a purist, or I'm too critical. I don't know. But I think too often too many people get like blinded by the application and the effort over the end products. And with Rashford, I mean, this guy has been playing a lot of football over the past 3 years. I'm still not seeing no real improvement in the end products. I think it would be the biggest piss take ever if you sign Rashford to bring him here and then overlook everyone in the academy, especially when all of our players have been better than Rashford since this guy was in the youth team. Honestly, that would annoy me. If we went in for him, that would annoy me. Okay. Like I said, you guys, if I've missed any of your questions, then you know what to do. Send a super chat or whatever. Okay, Richards, his contract ends when? I think he's got like a year left. Something like that. Is it? Yeah, I think something like that. I need to double check, to be honest, but yeah, something like that. This guy doesn't want to sign Rashford. Delusion. No, I'm not delusional. I mean, to call me delusional as if... never mind. You can have your opinion, it's fine. Jack Mannion, Kluivert from Ajax is someone... I think if I'm Kluivert, don't rush your move. Don't rush your move, please. Especially, I think it's always a risk for these guys to sign for Premier League teams because a lot of Premier League teams' management is just awful in terms of, honestly, that's how they ruined Depay at United. It's completely ruined him. Van Gaal's playing some nonsense system, and then, Depay can't really play his, his free form role on the left that he was doing at PSV, and it's just a history of always never utilising these players effectively enough. If I'm Cliver, patience, honestly. If you're a teenager, you don't need to rush nothing. Like, I know everyone's got this fantasy of like, oh yeah, when you're like a sick teenager, like, R9, the Portuguese Ronaldo and the original Ronaldo and Messi, and everyone has those dreams where it's like, oh, the next big thing, this guy's a teenager playing first team for a big team. That stuff is like once in a million. I mean, it happens so rarely, it's not even worth really, aspiring for that. If I'm Clivert, there's levels to this. Another year at Ajax, find a club that's going to play you week in, week out, because again, at your age, the benefit of needing to go to a team that's going to play you week in, week out is that there's no way in hell your season's going to be super consistent. There's going to be a lot of times when you'll see where your form goes off. I mean, it's just happened to Leon Bailey. I think the past 5-6 weeks hasn't been. Yeah, he scored 1 or 2 goals, but he hasn't been as amazing as earlier. I mean, it's natural. You got Christensen, a prime example. Guy's getting tired. He's young. Patience. Zaki Mahmoud, yes, bro, you good. Nini Nagelsmann, that German manager, that's like 30. That Roman manager, Di Francesco, become a good team in 3 years. So like Liverpool, or just Sarri or Jardim. Like I said, as long as the football is there, and here's the thing. For me, the most important thing is philosophy. Philosophy. Why am I messing up my words, bro? A philosophy that the board implements is the most important thing out of signings, out of who the new manager is going to be. All of that for me personally, because that's the shit where once you got that philosophy and the strategy in place, then it's just like that's how you can get that growth over the years, and you're guaranteed that you're going to be going on to bigger and better things. That's what's going to happen, and that's the most important thing for me. But yeah, I mean, whatever manager really that can provide that. Nagelsmann is very interesting tactically. That's the Hoffenheim manager. I know there's the Schalke manager, the German-Italian guy. I forgot what his name is. I forgot on the top of my head. Di Francesco, yeah, playing that sexy 4-3-3. Been having a lot of joy. Yeah, this is what I mean. I wouldn't mind a Jardim or Sarri, but any manager really that's gonna get that direction, that's the most important thing. Alex Ayala Flores, if Nini is delusional, why are you watching? I mean, again, it's not that deep. I mean, no one's supposed to agree with everything I say. Like, of course not. Like, I wouldn't want anyone to just blindly agree with anything I say. So it's not a big deal. Okay, Tula, thoughts on Wolves coming back to the BPL? Again, that strategy in place. This is what I mean, you guys. Philosophy, you see it with these clubs. You're seeing it with Liverpool. Over the years, they're strengthening slowly and slowly. Next year, they'll be serious title contenders. The Wolves, yeah, since that new strategy of... remember when we played them... Remember we played them last season? And they were like in the bottom half of the league. The bottom half of the league. They kept with the projects, didn't do this panicky shit where it's like, oh shit, we didn't get instant success straight away. Let's completely abandon ship and go back to the same shit we were doing. They had that strategy there. They were looking at the Portuguese market, bringing in the right manager. They've got financial backers as well. Ruben Neves, I mean, that was one of the craziest signings this summer. That Wolves, a championship team, can sign him. But this is the amazing thing about philosophy, you guys, because when you've got that shit in place, it's easier to sell dreams to players then. Then you can start signing players that you'd never, ever be able to get. Imagine if Wolves had the same backers, but they had no plan or philosophy. Imagine they had some shit manager there like Alan Pardew or some shit, and Alan Pardew's on the phone to Neves trying to tell him to come. But he's going to hang up the phone and delete his number and tell him to fuck off. You know what I mean? This is why philosophy, you guys, is the most key thing, because once that's there, everything comes into play. Okay, Zaki, Nini, do you think we should assign Neves over Bakayoko? Again, Neves to me, I'm not gonna lie, Ruben. Now, from before, because I think that Ruben can play much more box to box now, but when he was playing in a midfield too, I used to think that he was a bit similar to Neves. I mean, in terms of the role that he used to play in like a midfield too, because you know, one thing that people forget a lot about is that Ruben is very good on the ball. His passing is on point. He can play long, he can play short. The only annoying thing is that we see these guys play him out of position for some reason. Play the guy in midfield, let him run things, he can do that. This is why I'm hoping we got a manager that's going to see that and start implementing him in a midfield three. That's all you got to do. Like, football ain't that hard sometimes. I don't understand why people overcomplicate this, you know, simple things. I think Neves plus Kante would be a great partnership. I mean, yeah, I want to see Neves in the league first, to be honest. I mean, let's be serious. Even though he's been very impressive individually, the Championship, for me, it's hard for me to really judge every player in the Championship. This is why I wasn't, even with Tammy, yeah, impressive loan last year, I wasn't getting too over the top. I was even still saying he needs another 2 loans before we can start looking at him, because yeah, I know you got 20-something goals, but you're playing for Bristol. In their own backyard, name me one player in the Premier League history which replicated or replicates Messi's playing style. In Premier League history, who's got a dribbling style similar to Messi? Fuck, that's a hard one. I think maybe Eden Hazard. I mean, no one dribbles the same. I mean, maybe Maradona's probably the closest. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't know who's better out of Maradona or Messi. I was too young to see him. I've only just seen a few highlight clips and, you know, some old games here and there. But, I mean, in terms of dribbling style, I mean, that's the only one close to Messi. In the Premier League, I think Hazard's probably been the best ever dribbler in the Premier League, in my opinion. I mean, how many times is this guy coming on top for, you know, successful dribbles completed and successful dribbles attempted, plus dribbles attempted overall? So, I think maybe Hazard is the closest to Messi when it comes to that type of style. Yeah, I'd say that. I mean, even Ronaldo, nah, I mean, he was never really... Yeah, nice bits of skill in that, but he wouldn't do, like, I don't know, 10 dribbles a game or nothing like that. What other players stand out for me? Perez? Nah, what am I even saying that for? In terms of wingers or just attacking players... nah, I can't really think to Ben off. No, I'm joking. Nah, I can't really think, to be honest. I think Hazard is. Christian and Rudiger wasn't that good when he started playing. Yeah, exactly. He wasn't that good. Rudiger was better than Christensen against Barcelona, mate. Okay. Yeah, in the first leg in particular, he was very good. I gave him praise for that game. He was that was his best performance I've seen him have in a Chelsea shirt. But again, even though his performance was very good against Barcelona, what does Rudiger do? He does that same old shit where I don't know if it's concentration, or maybe it's a bit of overconfidence, or maybe complacency. I don't know what it is, but he never is in line with a back three. Or every time this guy's further forward for no reason. It's not as if he's closing anyone down. It's just not in line in time. And this is where you see those long through balls over the top going over his heads. That Barcelona game. And this is what I've got this like Minority Report mentality on football, you know, about preventing shit before it happens. But then, yeah, that's what amazing defenders do. You know, they do all that type of stuff, you know, using their head and stuff, because then you prevent those opportunities from coming. If Rudiger in that first leg in the Barca game was in line with the other guys, then there's no way Suarez would have been able to have got onto the ball. And if Suarez doesn't get on the ball, we're not in a situation where panic's happening at the back, or Christensen would have to make that pass, because Rudiger would have dealt with it, and then that wouldn't have happened then. I haven't seen him improve on that at all. He did it in the last game. Burnley did it yesterday as well. It's frustrating. I hate that type of stuff. Maybe it's because I've been watching John Terry play over the years. He's the best ever defender I've seen. And I think maybe this is why a lot of us can be more critical on players, maybe because we've seen what elite players are like. You know, we've seen the Drogba's, Balak's, Lampard's, Essien's, Ashley Cole's. We've seen what the pinnacle is like. And sometimes maybe you can take that for granted, because when you see other players not on their level, it's like sometimes maybe it takes you a while to like get accustomed to the differences, you know. Wendy, hi Wendy. Paul Pogba or Ruben Loftus-Cheek? Now I'm gonna sound, to be honest, I don't think I'm sounding like a hypocrite. I think that Pogba is a better player than Ruben. That doesn't mean that Ruben isn't going to be one of the best. I still think he will be. But I just think that Pogba was like one of those generational talents. Just you're so good individually that you can do everything, which Pogba can do. It's a shame. I mean, I'm not surprised. When I was first starting out on YouTube and I was doing videos on my Blue Lines thing, on my Niiniifc channel, I was speaking about the Pogba to United, and I was talking about the fact that, I mean, unless certain stipulations happen, I can't see Pogba being a super success under Mourinho, knowing how Mourinho plays, and this is the crazy thing, because Pogba, I mean, he's still got double digits for assists, and he's nearly got double digits for goals, and this guy isn't playing. He's not playing the same Juventus way anymore. He doesn't have that freedom to do that type of stuff. So it's just a crazy thing. People make out that he's shit for some baffling reason, but you see what he does, and he's still, for me, one of the best midfielders in the league. And one thing that's annoying me with Mourinho, I'm hearing reports that Mourinho gets frustrated whenever Pogba does any flair or skill, but these managers, they don't care about the fans. I swear to God, you're a fan, you enjoy. Well, for me, I enjoy seeing those moments of skill and just ability. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of having the best players at your club. They can express themselves, they can do bits, they can show their skill and flair. It makes it entertaining and makes it enjoyable. I don't want to see like 11 robots on the pitch doing this, doing that. Like, come on. Okay, you guys, I'm checking Patreon now. I've got some questions from the Patreon subs. Okay. Alright, Everyday Monday, Christian and Jaden. I'm going to go in order. Jaden's question: do you think Chelsea have the best youth in the world? Jaden, 1,000,000%. Of course. I think the Barca game, because I think it's because it's Barcelona. So regardless if their youth team is good or not, people will just be getting gas because, oh shit, it's Barcelona. And I think once we beat them, I think more casuals are going to start, taking our youth more seriously. Christian Valadez: do you think Martinez will get the best out of Hazard for Belgium this summer? You think he can be one of the best players of the tournament? And Christian, I think that will be the case, because since Martinez has taken over the Belgium national team, you're seeing a sick Eden Hazard. You're seeing an Eden Hazard that has that freedom, has the support around him. And yeah, I think he is going to be one of the best players in the tournament, for sure. I'm very, very confident about that, because he's been amazing for Belgium. So yeah. Everyday Monday, yes bro, you good. Nini, as well as a creative CM, I reckon we need a dictating deep line DM, because that's the type of midfielder we're missing, of quality to provide competition for Kante. Who do you think we should target in that area? Diarra from Napoli. I like your way of thinking. And to me, I'm not really surprised by these links to Seri from Nice, because he's another guy in that same exact mold of the deep line playmaker. The funnel midfield where all the passing goes through him. I think it'd be good competition for Kante and Cesc, and I wouldn't be surprised if he would be Cesc's replacement. But yeah, I think Seri, 35 million, is an upgrade to some of the other guys we've got in this team. Makes a lot of sense. But I think, you're signing Seri. To me, at least one of the midfielders is leaving. If the new manager comes, I'm guaranteeing he'd want another midfielder of his choice as well. I'm expecting maybe 2 of these guys in midfield to leave. I mean, I wouldn't be... whoever gets the most money, I think maybe Drinkwater. Let's say Monaco come back with a big bid. I can't imagine it being too hard to run that deal. Who knows? But I think Seri's one... I think people in this stream are speaking about this guy from Real Betis, the Spanish guy. Is it Maxi Lopez or something? Supposed to be decent. Trigueros from Villarreal. He's a guy that people sleep on, you know, because he's got that defensive grit as well. Trigueros would be a decent guy, and I think I did a video, I think in December, where we were linked to this guy a bit. Again, as Don Balon, so you can't really take too much of what they're saying. But yeah, Trigueros, he'd be another interesting guy to look at. I can't imagine Trigueros still being at Villarreal in you know, for next season. Tony, oh shit, Tony, thanks for that, bro. Damn, $20. Oh shit, appreciate that, man. Damn, thanks for that, man. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Tony. Keep up the good work, my brother. Love from California, bro. I appreciate that a lot, man. Thanks a lot. You didn't even have to do that. Damn, thanks, man. Damn. Yeah, Tony, man. Thanks a lot. Strong Ray Cool 44. Oh, what a long ass name. But he still forgot Osgoods. Who forgot Osgood? In their own backyard. Benaim, Dolorno, Torres, Livchenko, Mutu, Kesman, Wise, Gianluca, Matteo, Bertrand, Kalu. I need to read back up to see what I missed. AJP Nini, would you sell Hazard to buy Pogba and Martial and maybe Thiago? Oh no. For me, Hazard is top 5 in the world. When you've got top 5 of anything, you don't get rid of them. Especially when it's just players in the world. Nah, Hazard. Again, we're not a poor club. We can afford to get those players as well if we really wanted to. So, yeah. I mean, you know what? I have been hearing some slight things. Again, this is speculation. This is very rumory. And you know, with me, I always clarify what I think is, not what I think is true, what is true and what isn't. Now, this is pure speculation, but I have been told this from one of the sources, and he was just given his opinion on things, you know, just because of you know, everything he's been hearing about, and he's been saying that Abramovich could be potentially putting in 100 million of his own money into the transfer market. That's what I've been hearing allegedly. I'm not promising anything. No one start tweeting this or tweeting that. That's what I was told. He told me himself, you know, take this with a pinch of salt for now. But that's like a rumor that he's been hearing, that Roman could be investing 100 million of his own money into the club for you know, for transfers. Nini, do you like Eminem? You know what? Eminem, for me, he's always been an artist, but I like a few tracks. But when I listen to his old albums, I mean, the only one I've ever like really enjoyed was his early stuff. I forgot the name of it, the shit from the 90s and that. But I mean, all his other albums now, I've never really been too much into. I mean, I like him; he's an amazing rapper. But I just think some of the songs, I think recently with Eminem, some of his beat selection just isn't really good enough. Like, some of the beats on the new album sounded really dated, and I just really wasn't enjoying it as much. Okay. Everyday Monday. Nini, do you think Bakayoko's ceiling as a... What do you think of Bakayoko's ceiling as a player? I'm thinking he maxes out, he becomes a Matuidi, Darren Fletcher. If he continues like this, he becomes a Wijnaldum. Honestly, Baka's not going to be any world-class, top-class mid. That's because you don't become one of the very best midfielders. Doesn't mean you're a bad player. I mean, there's levels to this stuff, you know. I think he's a decent player. I mean, there's no way he's going to the World Cup with the national team. That chance has been blown. It's going to be a struggle for him. But again, a Matuidi, maybe, potentially. I know a lot of Paris Saint-Germain fans are upset that Matuidi's gone. They're missing his like charisma and his grit in games, and it's no surprise. Okay, you guys. Oh shit! You know what? I'm here for 5 more minutes. I said an hour. Hey Tony, I still can't get over how much you sent, bro. I really appreciate that, man. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, damn, that's crazy, man. Saramesh Regmi Nini, I reckon looks like a guy who likes reggae music. You know what? When I visit my dad's, because he likes his reggae too. Yeah, I'll listen to some songs with him, but no, I don't really listen to too much reggae. I'm not gonna lie. With me, like, my musical taste is wide, meaning like if I hear something, I'm not gonna be afraid to like it, even if it's not normally in like a genre I listen to. But I'm not gonna lie, I have been a bit basic. Just with, you know, honestly, the older you get, 24 hours in a day just isn't enough. I wish I had more time left for myself, but yeah, I'm being basic. I've just been listening to more, you know, hip hop, yeah, UK hip hop, drill, all that type of stuff, to be honest. So yeah, I need to mix it up a bit. You know what I mean? Vibes, Carter. Yeah, my girlfriend likes all that music. What other questions? Forward thinking, everyday Monday. I honestly don't think Baka can be as good as Matuidi, and Wijnaldum is on another planet technically. Yeah, Wijnaldum. Yeah, there's an argument. Yeah, that's a fair shout. Baka only has a physical presence, natural ability. I honestly, even though you can have a really bad season, I still think that we should have seen some signs now. And I think that I was making this point in the 5 talking points after the Burnley game. You know, with this guy, anytime people praise him, they're always using words like he's been solid and he hasn't been too bad. And I'm just thinking, you know, we're Chelsea FC, you know. We're not Everton, where, yeah, that's okay to have a player giving performances like that. A player like that should be doing more than being solid. You know what I mean? So that's how I see it personally. Sigma 42, 2 strikers up front next year, Batsman and Morata. Hey, if Jardim comes, that could be that. Who knows? Could happen. Could happen. But I mean, 2 strikers. To be honest, I'd rather us have 3 in midfields. I want to see. I'd rather we have that. We don't need 2 strikers. But I mean, maybe actually 2. I mean, me personally, I like to see that dominant style of football. But I've always liked watching Monaco under Jardim. You know, they create a lot of chances. It's very fun to watch. It's very gung ho, and that could translate very nicely. That could complement playing in the Premier League pretty well. So that's definitely something. Will Rayner, appreciate that, man. And Will, you're a Patreon sub. Like I said, every Patreon sub, you can message me and I'll be answering all your questions. So yeah, Will, you should be messaging me on Patreon, man. But again, appreciate that super chat. Thanks a lot. Your question is, who do you think is a dark horse for the World Cup? Oh, a dark horse. That is a good one. What South American team's doing bits? Bro, who's a dark horse? I like to say Croatia. I mean, they're such, like, they were one of the standout teams for me during the Euros. Because for me, I mean, I went to a lot of games during the Euros, and yeah, I mean, I feel lucky. I went to so many. I think one of my favorite games was the Germany versus Poland game. I went to the Portugal game, went to the Iceland game. I went to the Croatia game as well. But yeah, I think Croatia, because when they play football as a team. That midfield, Modric, Rakitic, Brozovic, you know, Kovacic, you've got Mandzukic, you've got Perisic, Visako on the right. I mean, they're a good team. And then, you know, maybe guys like Halovic might be part of the squad this time. What other Croatian players been doing bits? I can't even think any off the top of my head. But I mean, you know, they play good football and they look good. And I mean, they've always been unlucky because any time they've been knocked out from these games, I've always felt they've been the much better team. I think when Portugal knocked them out, they were unlucky, in my opinion. I thought they outplayed Portugal, and I think it's a matter of time. I think, you know, Croatia will probably click into gear for the World Cup, and I think, yeah, they're definitely going to be one of the dark horses. I just want to see good football during the World Cup, please. The Euros, I mean, honestly, some of these games, it was literally every team, Catenaccio, or whatever, however you pronounce it, you know, parking the bus in the middle, defending deep. Oh my God. And it was like, it was kind of disheartening in a way because, you know, Portugal, they've always been synonymous with being one of the best footballing teams in international tournaments recently. And when they won the Euros, they went completely against their, you know, their philosophy, you could say. You know, when they're using Cristiano Ronaldo, like one of the most legendary players in the game, as a target man, like you're using Ronaldo out of position as a target man. I think that really sums up everything, you know. Patreon messages. Everyday Monday. Does Morata get white privilege? Because I see people being very patient with him and quick to dismiss Mitchell. Morata gets love because he apparently looks good. You know what? I might have to disagree with you slightly, bro. Maybe it's because of who I'm following on Twitter. I constantly see Morata slander all the time. And I was saying earlier during the stream, I was saying, I even made the point that I think guys like Baka get more of a leeway compared to guys like Morata, who people just want this guy gone just like that. I mean, they want him gone for a while, and I don't know. I think with Mitchell, I think a lot of fans, I think he was one of the rare players that people understood the context as to why he couldn't really show his best. You know what I mean? But I do feel maybe Morata gets the most hate, and then I'd probably say Bakayoko, and then I'd probably say Courtois. They're probably the three most, I wouldn't say hated players, but they get the most criticism. No, and how can I forget Alonso and Moses? I mean, to be honest, there's a few. Josh Banks. What would be your dream England starting 11 in 10 years? Building off current youth players. That is a sexy ass question. I think I even posted something similar. Up front, I'm thinking, there's talks of Leon Bailey potentially being a guy that could be playing for the England national team. Wouldn't be surprised to see that happening. Something's telling me I kind of see maybe Hudson-Odoi. I think he has a possibility that he could transition into playing as a striker as his career progresses. I think for the national team that makes a lot more sense. You know, when you've got Sancho and when you've got Hudson-Odoi, it's a shame that you've got such uber talents that play on the left-hand sides. But I kind of feel for the national team, you know, maybe if Hudson-Odoi became a striker, I think this guy could be phenomenal playing that role. I mean, clinical as fuck. Imagine Hudson-Odoi up front. You've got Sancho on the left. You've got Bailey on the right. Behind them, you've got Mason Mount. You know, in midfield, maybe you've got Ruben. And, I mean, I don't know, maybe Chalobo or Lewis Cook or something like that. In defence on the right, let's say John Sterling. Let's say he cements his place. Let's say, I don't know, on the left. I mean, again, we're forgetting guys like Sessegnon as well. You know, where's Sessegnon going to play? Would he potentially play on the? Yo, you're here. Oh, cool. I'm coming. You guys. You know what? Let me see. I think I'm gonna have to end the stream. My friends have just come. Oh, you got the key? Yeah. Let's let yourself in. Hey, sorry about that, you guys. My boy's here. Obviously, it's 4:20, and you know what time it is. It's time to feast. But but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sessegnon, who God knows? It depends on his development. I think Jada Silva on the left in defence. I mean, we've got, you know, Trevor Chaloba. He's got a chance. Stones. Hopefully, this guy gets better for the national team. You got Maguire. Let's see how he develops. On the right, I mean, there's that Peters guy from Spurs. John Sterling, Reece James. I mean, you know, in goal, probably Butlands. You know, again, we can play football with this New England team in the future, and let's just hope that these guys get the proper career management. You know, Katanas. Okay, thanks for that, bro. You know what? I don't even really smoke that much. I'll be serious. I'm not a fiend like that. Like, I rarely smoke. It's kind of like every now and then. Like, there's no like schedule or nothing. But it's obviously, I've got some friends coming round. Why not? It's 4:20 in that. Why not? Time for Nini to hit that blunt light. My boy is here. It's time to feed. Oh, bruv, you dickheads. You dickhead, this guy. Making me laugh, man. How is he saying, are you gay or something with a question mark? My boy is here. It's time to feast. Real talk, this guy. Miss me with that, bro. But now, obviously, I said it's time to fiends. Fiends, like. I don't know. It's some English terminology, I guess. But yeah, you guys eating out booty. Whoa. You need to, yo, own backyard. You need to calm down, bro. I don't know where all this booty talk's coming from now. You guys, I need to answer one more footballing question before I go. I've been diverted a lot. Yo, Sean, you struggling to open the door? Bro, you guys, you know what? I think I might have to go right now, actually. I'm going to have to go right now, you guys. Obviously, thank you for watching the live stream. Obviously, it's been good. You know what? I'm thinking for next week, I might probably try and do 3 live streams in a week. I don't think it's enough time to do all of that. I need to keep it moving, you guys. I'll catch you later.